drive home.
Yeah, you're local now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you love living back in the city?
I've got to say I do.
Yeah.
The weather is so great. I love the weather more than anything else.
Did you like that heat wave we had?
Loved it.
Did you really? You like
Love
that?
the polar vortex.
You love the polar vortex?
Drama, yeah, bring it to me. That's fabulous.
So you grew up in Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah, what part?
The north side, by the big beach on Ardmore. We used to call it Ardmore Beach. I think they call it something else now. But yeah, that was my backyard.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I know your parents. Your parents are awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Really cool people. So Chicagoan. How did you get into?
Because I feel like I'm looking backwards.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How did you get into acting?
Well, my parents did a lot of theater. Chicago's great, and for those of you who are from here, in that there's a great community theater scene, and each park, there's tons of parks, and each park had it, or I don't know if they still do it, but back in the 60s, 70s, whatever, each park had its own sort of dramat, and people used to do plays, and then the best of those plays would go on during the summer at Theater on the Lake. And my dad and my mom both did that quite a lot. And so my brother and I grew up, at cast parties and cueing them on their parts and all this kind of stuff. So that kind of got us into the theater world. And I also loved movies, so we saw tons of films,
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, then I went to college and was going to be an English major, but then I just fell in with the drama people, and I thought, God, it was too familiar, too fun, and so I just fell in step.
You mentioned your brother. Your brother is Billy Zane. Her brother is Billy Zane. You can applaud Billy Zane. So you guys act together a lot as kids?
No, never.
Seriously?
Never acted once. Not even we were in a movie together, but we didn't even have a scene together. So we have still as yet.
What movie were you in together?
Femme Fatale.
Oh, yes, of course.
I was the runaway bride, and he was the best friend, and Colin Firth was the guy in between. So there was a scene with him, a scene with me, a scene with him, but we never actually acted.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So let's get into let's cover Freddy first. Okay. I actually you and I knew each other when you booked it.
Really? Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was that's how long ago it was. Like you booked it now, and I remember telling you, and you said, yeah, I said, your life's going to change. Like, your life is going to change because you are going to be part of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
It didn't change till recently because these cons are fairly recent for me anyway.
You started doing this recently?
Yeah.
So how'd you get it? How'd you get the part?
I was offered the part.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was right after Bad Influence, and then I got a call and it said, do you want to be Freddy's daughter and kill him? And I was like, well, hold on. And so I called my friend Vanya, who knows everything. She's wise and all things. I said, Vanya, what should I do? And she said, are you kidding me? Take that part because horror fans never die. They'll never forget you. They'll be with you forever. And I was like, all right. So I did it.
And you're experiencing that this weekend.
I know, and I'm so glad I did because, it has. It's been sort of, it usually keeps on giving.
It's the only one in the series directed by a woman,
yes,
which is
Rachel.
Nice. Yeah, that is great. So what was the shoot like? What was it like?
It was grueling. I mean, it was the only movie I ever worked on where I worked every single day, all day. And that's like 10 weeks, and that was intense, to get up to speed. And it was very, full on, very engaging. The 3D stuff was fun. It was a laugh.
Yeah.
The cast was a laugh too. I mean, we had Roseanne and Tom and, Alice Cooper and Johnny Depp and who else we have?
You had a ton of cameos.
Yaphet Kotto and lots of cool people in it. So there was, no end of interesting conversation in the makeup chair.
In the last Q&A here with the ladies from Dream Master, the special effects stuff, how did that work for you? You didn't have any really insane stuff.
No.
Like, you didn't turn into a cockroach and get crushed or anything.
No, I didn't do that. But I do recall, I will never forget the smell of that, whatever that Freddy, had to put on for hours, copious hours every day, and constantly having to retouch that plastic smell. It was like very specific.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to do anything.
Any insane stuff?
No.
What's it like to work with Robert Englund?
Oh, I'm sure everyone says the same thing. He's just a blast. He's funny. He's generous. He's a real thespian, real actor's actor. You know, he's got great stories. You know, always upbeat, even when he's hanging from some crane for hours at a time. He keeps everybody laughing. He kind of hosts the set. You know, it's terrific.
Was the 3D stuff shot at a specific time during the shoot? Was it last, or did they sprinkle it throughout the film?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was a particular time, like somewhere in the middle, and they rolled out this big 3D contraption, this big old camera. It was different than the other camera. Maybe it just had a attachment on it. And they just said, okay, so thrust this thing at the lens.
Right.
Just thrust it at the lens. There was a baseball bat or something. And so, it's just little things like that. It was pretty easy. It was kind of low tech, actually.
Did you see a lot of 3D movies when you were a kid? Oh, you did?
And I don't think so. I think it was a little before my time.
Oh, okay.
I
a lot of sort of re-releases when I was a kid, so
yeah.
I saw House of Wax in 3D.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And the 3D wasn't very good. It is now, of course, it's amazing.
Yeah. No.
Because of technology, but when you had the
It's
red,
charming.
it's, yeah.
Charming.
I remember seeing Freddy's Dead, and when it's like, now put on your 3D glasses now, because it's the last, it's the last 10 minutes of the film is in 3D, so you got to sit there.
The character Maggie puts on.
Exactly. I still remember that and thought it was very funny. So tell me about the reception of the film from your end.
When it first came out?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't that aware that I was, a young actress in town. I just moved on to the next thing. I didn't quite look back very often, And so, but I think, I've noticed that it had done really well. And I remember seeing it at the Chinese theater. I was doing a play at the time, I think, in town tomorrow. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah, sure.
And so I brought some of my castmates to come see it at the Chinese theater,
Oh, that's cool.
So that was fun. But that was about it. That's all I really remember of it. Then I was on to the next thing.
On the next thing. And then, but years later,
years later, I never dreamed it would still be going on.
I remember it opened on Friday the 13th.
Did it?
It did, September 13th, 1991. I remember because I had a girl just broke up with me the day before. And no, it's happened a lot. Don't go. But I remember going to see it with a friend of mine, and we had tipped a few because I was, not feeling good, and I thought it was the greatest movie I'd ever seen in my life.
Did you?
No, well, it made me very happy. I was in a really shitty mood, and so I was like, "Hey, this is great,
You want to see Freddy kill some people?
Yeah, and I knew you, and I was like, "Hey, look, she's gonna kill Freddy. It's awesome." So anyway, but it's really a lot of fun to see those films, and I'm sure it's a lot of fun to be a part of it.
Definitely.
Okay, you mentioned Bad Influence. That is one of my favorite movies. I absolutely love it. It's really. The late great Curtis Hanson, who was taken from us way too soon, who was a remarkable filmmaker, who made so many great thrillers and so many smart films. How did that part come to you?
I had done a movie called Heart of Dixie.
Oh, sure.
Which Steve Tisch, who was the producer of Bad Influence, had produced as well. We were all down in Mississippi together. I had a smallish part.
Isn't Virginia in that too?
Yes, yeah. Virginia's in it, and all the girls are in it. Phoebe Cates
Right.
and Ali Sheedy. It's a really cute movie. I liked it. It was a blast being down in Mississippi, and we did it. Anyway, so I guess he remembered me from that, brought me in for Bad Influence, and I just had a few auditions and got it.
Yeah.
No, Curtis was terrific because he was a real student of film, and so we could talk about old movies all day long. He said, I want you to be kind of like Anouk Aimée in La Dolce Vita. I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Or he would say, watch Louise Brooks. I've seen it all. Don't about it. So it was great. It was great. I felt like we were, on the same level on that in terms of loving old movies. Yeah.
One of the many, many things I loved about the movie because it's just such a beautifully crafted film and full of surprises. I love, and I told you this the other day. I love like the reverse casting. Like Rob Lowe plays the bad guy, James Spader plays the innocent guy.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that? And their dynamic together was great, and it just builds in tension and builds in tension. What was it like to work with those two guys?
Great. We were all young together. We just were like young kids together, basically, cracking up and having a good time, going out to clubs and doing whatever. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. They're terrific actors. They were.
It's the releasing of that movie was a little interesting because it got released right around the time Rob Lowe's videotape.
Oh yeah.
And there's a videotape in the movie. There's a sex tape in the movie. And I remember when it came out, I'm just saying how it was received through the press. It was like when Bad Influence came out, it was like, oh, there's a sex tape in Bad Influence. So I think people went to see it just out of curiosity.
Maybe, yeah.
But it was just weird how those things time out. But it's a really great film, and you are so good in it.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
No, you're great in it. You're really great.
Had a nice outfit or two.
Yeah, no, you look great. Everything about it was
And
great.
James Spader had just won the Palme d'Or for sexualizing videos.
Oh, he did,
More
yeah.
interestingly.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
what was exciting about it in terms of.
So it's such a specific time, my God.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so crazy. Okay, I want to mention, you've done a lot of movies and you've done a lot of TV work. You were on one of my favorite TV shows, like an unsung TV show that lasted, I think, 1 season or a season and a half. You were in Prophet.
Less than 1 season, 7 episodes.
I loved that show. Have you guys ever seen the show Prophet with Adrian Pazdar? He slept in a closet.
Yeah.
In a box.
In a box, yeah, and it was
Very much ahead of its time, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Who was the creator of that show? Do you remember?
Yeah, John McNamara, and I can't think of your name right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but it was on Fox, and like many Fox shows, David, damn it, I'm old.
David Greenwald.
There it is, David Greenwald, right, exactly.
Sorry, David.
But Fox has this history of taking shows off the air before they needed to be taken off the air.
Yeah, this should have happened like 10 years later.
It's such a.
Who would have caught up?
If you can, I think there's a DVD set out there.
Oh, totally.
Somewhere. Yeah, if you've not seen this show, seriously, as you said, Lisa, way ahead of its time, and it would fit in to the zeitgeist right
So
now.
much, yeah.
So you guys check it out. It's called Prophet.
They thought it was too dark.
Well, yeah.
And by today's standards, that's really
That's
not
one of the
dark.
that's one of the reasons why I loved it so much. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and you were terrific on it.
Thank you.
Great. I want to get into some of the other things that you do. Photography. Let's talk about your photography.
Oh, that's fairly new. I mean, it's not new in that I've always taken pictures, but I just happened to be offered a solo show just a couple of months ago, and it was really exciting decades of negatives, and it's all 35 millimeter, prints and stuff. Pull all this treasure trove of negatives out of my storage space and blow them up and hang them up, and people really like them, so I'm gonna keep doing that.
Do you still?
Oh yeah.
All the
absolutely.
time? Yeah. So tell everybody about your show. Good show.
Oh, it's closed now. Oh, there's a second show that's interesting. I have 2 pieces in it. It's in Skokie. I don't remember the name of the place, but it's all about the old Chicago theaters. So there's paintings and photography about all the old movie houses, like, the Chicago Theater. I did one of the Granada and the Riviera. And
Riviera. The Granada was a beautiful theater.
Yeah.
That was over on
Broadway. Sure. I mean, not sure.
No.
Broadway and
No.
Dawn.
Right by Loyola L stop. It was right by the
Broadway
Loyola
and
stop. Yeah, right there it is. That's it. Yeah. It was a beautiful theater. I saw Empire Strikes Back there. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So you got that going. You continue to do photography.
Yes.
And
yes.
now
I
let's get to the music,
Okay.
because that's something you're doing, and
I have been doing for quite
you've been
a while.
doing for quite a while,
Mhm.
and you're with a band now.
I started a band with a friend of mine who's a terrific guitar player, and it's a rock band. It's called Flapunco, and it's
Flapunco.
Flapunco.
Okay.
And it's just straight up rock. It's really terrific. We're loving it. We're writing songs together and recording them right now. We're in the middle of recording our record, to be my 3rd record. I have 2 other ones that it's more kind of in the folk blues vernacular, but original songs. For a long time I was kind of a chanteuse, like a balladeer, we like to say, in French and Spanish and kind of foreign music, and I've sung all over the world really. But since I've been back in Chicago, this idea for this rock band that I've had for ages finally has come to be, and I'm delighted. I'm so excited to be here for that reason, really.
Yeah. We're gonna get you on the show to talk about that and play a bunch of your music.
Yeah.
Did you start singing at a young age?
I used to sing to myself, for myself, to express myself by myself.
Right.
Like if I was blue or if I was happy or if it's just a way I expressed it. And then not till like 1998 did somebody ever sort of tap me on the shoulder and say, well, this French woman who owned like the coolest club in LA, and I was living in LA, she goes, you're going to sing in my club. I was like, really? Haha, okay. And I was like ready. So, you know, from then on, I just built this repertoire, kind of a very eclectic repertoire of songs that just went on and on. I did it in New York, I did it in Paris, and you know,
That's
I've been
fantastic.
singing a long time.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed on your CDs you have a producer credit and everything.
Yeah.
Do you like working in the studio? Is it something you
I
enjoy?
love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
What about you? Do you love
adore
it?
it? Well, because you can do it till you get it right, kind of like movies. You know?
Yeah.
You can make it. I call it precision balladeering. You know, you can really create what you want to create, and then have it on. I can be objective about my work. I think I can step back and like really just kind of, you know. And then you stop. You get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm done, and you can walk away and then listen to it again and not cringe.
Yeah. And writing songs, how's that process like for you?
I think it's one of the best things you can do with your time is to write a 3-minute pop song, you know? It's like, it can take as long as months and months, years even, or it can take like 20 minutes, depending on what you're writing about or how much it needs to get out and whatnot. But then there it is forever again. You know, you've got this song that people can sing, they can dance to it, they can do anything to it, and I think that's just a terrific art form.
Do you like playing out live as much as recording, or is it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Sure. I love everything about it.
everything about the music.
Yeah.
So you're recording the rock album.
Uh-huh.
You're recording it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're recording it here in Chicago.
Yeah. Yep.
And when are you looking to release it?
When we're done, I don't know. We're just doing it at our own pace. It's coming along. That's the thing when you sort of doing your own thing, you can take as long as you need to take.
Well, that's great, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm
Thank
sure
you.
everybody in here is too.
Yeah, please. I have a website. It's just lisazane.com, and there's a lot of music on it, and clips and pictures and whatever you might be interested in, and also whatever's happening, I'll post it there. It's kind of an archival thing. It's not, you know, it's a monolithic kind of thing, but you know, it's good fun. if you're interested.
Also, if you go to her table, not only can you get a picture signed and a picture and all that cool stuff, but she's got both CDs available at the table, and so you should pick those up. We're going to open up to some questions. If you have some questions, in 1 second, I just wanted to mention. I just went blank. Let's get to. Okay, what's your question?
I was just wondering what it was like to work with Yaphet Kotto on Freddy's Dead.
He was eccentric. He was very eccentric, but you know, terrific actor, really present, you know. But he told me he was the Crown Prince of Cameroon, and I believed him. An eccentric, but terrific. I mean, a legend, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Anybody?
That's all right.
Okay.
All right, right here.
What's your favorite line that you've ever said in any of your roles? Like not just Freddy's Dead, but
Favorite line that she
Go
said.
back.
For those of you, because you probably couldn't hear her, she said, "What's your
Sorry.
favorite line from any movie you've ever done, not just Freddy's Dead?"
Oh my gosh.
think hard.
All right. Well, there was this bad influence. You know, we were walking through this, you know, wild party and with all kinds of strange happenings, and I guess it was the James Spader character was, you know, by my side, and he was cringing, and I said, "They're just people." Kind of inclusive.
I know what I wanted to ask. Was what kind of music did you listen to growing up?
Oh,
That
a
may
lot
have
of
influenced you.
musicals.
A lot of the music.
Woo!
Yeah, well, your parents were actors too, so you were-
Musicals.
yeah.
Love them. I listen to Liza Minnelli, who I love to this day. She makes me cry.
Mhm.
Right? She sings. And Barbara Streisand. You know, singers.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra. But then, you know, when I got to college, it was David Bowie and, you know, Blondie and, you know, all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
What else did I like? I used to like to pretend to conduct Gershwin when I was a kid. I used to play Slaughter on 10th Avenue and, you know, pretend I was conducting the orchestra.
Right.
That's what I did that when I was younger. And I used to pretend to be Ringo Starr on the phones. And a lot of lip syncing and play acting. You know.
Right. Right. Okay. That was what I was going to ask you when we were talking about your music, was the influences. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just wondering if you played live in the area somewhere.
Occasionally, like right now that we're recording, not so much, but Flapunko is playing at a thing called Yippie Fest on August 17th, 11 o'clock at night on August 17th. It's a fairly new festival. I think it's only the third year, but so we're going to have a rare appearance. But we're hoping that once the record's done, then we're going to unleash ourselves onto the world.
Is it August 16th, you said?
August 17th.
August 17th. By the way, it's at the Prop Theater,
It's at the Prop Theater.
which is on Elston. It's a pretty cool place. I used to hang out there.
Yeah, we're gonna try out all our new songs.
Yeah. So, anybody else? Okay. So besides the record, let me ask you this: as an actress, from Chicago who started out here and was auditioning and stuff like that, can you believe what Dick Wolf has done to this city? Isn't it unbelievable? Were you in one of his shows, right?
Just briefly. Oh, you mean one of these ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a small thing on Chicago, the one that got canceled, Chicago News. The one. They're all like mega hits. And
Yeah.
like, nope, not that one.
It's really how crazy, how different is it? I mean, between when you were young and acting to what's going on now.
No, it's terrific. And they wanted to do this. I mean, I was talking to the producer when I was on set, and he said they want to do this whole sort of huge box set called Chicago, and it's all about it's all about now, Chicago now, which is an amazing story to tell.
It's incredible now, and and Dick Wolf has kind of opened the door. So many other shows are shooting here now, because of Dick Wolf. There's stuff from Fox that was shooting here. There's stuff from APB or whatever it was shot here, and they're hiring a lot of my friends, which makes me happy.
Yeah.
So, but it's just so different than back in the '90s when people were trying to get gigs.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I kind of left right after high school and never really came back, except to do a play or two at Goodman and whatnot. But I never actually lived here since I was 18.
Okay. Well, listen, Lisa, it was so great to catch up with you.
Yeah, for
and and congratulations on all the success, and we're looking forward to the album
Thank you.
being released. Lisa, Zane, everybody.
Thank you.